2, 3, 4.
Somebody looking there at, oh my goodness, a regional newspaper in northern Italy, and it is just capturing so vividly the grim toll that the coronavirus pandemic has taken in Italy. That's the obituary section. Well, that's extraordinary. It was 2 pages in February, 10 pages this past week. The latest numbers out of Italy, more than 1,800 people have died. It remains the #1 focal point in Europe. Spain following, though, very close behind Italy, and these are major hotspots. Let's go to Renee Filippone, who is following all of the European situation for us. And also following, of course, what is happening in the UK. And I guess we should probably start there, Renee, with you right there in downtown London, because we have Boris Johnson hosting meetings and holding meetings and getting new information and sharing that as well. What's the latest that you're getting there out of the UK and all of this?
Well, throughout all of this, the UK has been behind other European countries when it comes to putting in restrictions. Many of the schools are still open. There's no travel ban there's no restrictions like there are in Canada when people who travel away have to come into quarantine. You'll notice behind me there's still quite a bit of traffic. There are people around, but it is far quieter than it would normally be here on a Monday. My coffee shop, there was no lineup. I was in supermarkets over the weekend, very busy there with empty shelves. The government has faced a lot of criticism about how it is dealing with this, specifically its lack of testing. And what they have done here is that in order to bring down the demand for testing, they are only testing people who are hospitalized. Now, there was a report that leaked to The Guardian from public health officials that is ramping up the fear a bit here, taking a look at just how big this could get, saying they're preparing for the virus to last up to a year. They believe 8 million people could be hospitalized. And we're hearing from doctors within the health service saying that is going to be very difficult for them to manage, specifically if nurses or doctors themselves have to go into quarantine. Now, Prime Minister Boris Johnson is holding an emergency cabinet meeting with his ministers. And from now on, we will be hearing from either him or his senior ministers every single day with updates. They're promising that they're going to be more open about the information, the modeling, explaining their decisions, because through all this criticism, they've maintained that they're just listening to science.
Renee, interesting. On my computer, I'm getting lots of red headlines because Boris Johnson is speaking, and there's no way, I'll get to this live shot in just a second, no way for you to know that he's doing that. But one of the things that he's just saying is, according to scientific advice, school closure is not a step we should be taking at this time. So that's interesting as far as UK response, even as a number of schools in Canada and the United States do decide to close. So that is going on as we speak, and the next time we talk to Renee, we'll have even updated information from the British Prime Minister. But as we go back to that live shot again, this is from Madrid, from Spain. This is the city within the country which is becoming a point of increased concern right after Italy in terms of a spike in cases and really a strict lockdown on all of the country. The Prime Minister's wife has tested positive, incidentally. Renee, talk about the rest of Europe and other parts of Europe and what is happening, particularly in those 2 countries and their hotspots.
Well, Heather, across Europe right now, 100 million people are on lockdown. This is the first working Monday that Spain has been in a lockdown similar to what Italy has been in for some time. There was a move made by Germany today to close its borders to anyone coming from France, Austria, and Switzerland, a move that has been criticized by the EU Commission, saying there's no science to show that closing borders are going to do anything, because at this point, from all the best information they have, the coronavirus is now in every European country.
Renee, thank you so much. Going to be back to you later this morning as you continue to bring us the UK and European view. Our Renee Filippone live in London.